So I don't know if you remember, but back in the 2010s, there was this wave of movies with characters that were terminally ill. And these movies, for some reason in the 2010s, they were very popular, okay? I don't know what it was about the 2010s. I don't know if people wanted to cry. In the 2020s, you don't see that many movies talking about characters that are terminally ill. It's just not that popular anymore. I was thinking about that and I decided to go ahead and watch some of the movies that were very popular back in the 2010s and see if they will make me cry. If you were a Tumblr girly like me and you lived the Tumblr peak era from 2011 to 2014 or so, you know that The Fault in Our Stars book was very popular back then. I remember reading it. Yes sir, I had the book and I read it. So when the movie came out, naturally I went to the movies to watch the movie. Okay, obviously let's talk about this movie, because I remember thinking back in the day that this movie was oh so deep and oh so brilliant. And then when I saw the male lead character doing the cigarette thing, I was like, that shit is so corny. Like, that shit is so corny. I cannot believe that back when I watched this movie I thought like, oh my god, that's actually brilliant. Like, that's actually so deep. No, it's the fuck not. No, it's fucking not. It's corny. It's so corny. Like, baby, what are you doing? Why are you spending money on cigarettes that you won't smoke? And then he was talking about like, I just put it in my mouth but don't give it the power to kill me. I was not feeling it, okay? No.
No smoking on this plane. Or any plane.
I don't smoke.
Yeah, no, it's just a metaphor. He puts the killing thing in his mouth, but he doesn't actually give it the power to kill him.
Well, that metaphor, it's prohibited on today's flight.
If there's a place on earth you should behave, it's at the airport or at an airplane, okay? I could not believe that he took his cigarette out and was talking about like, oh, this is a metaphor, babe. The other thing about this movie that I was not feeling, and I remember thinking this the first time that I watched this movie, was the fact that both actors, they look alike. I wasn't the only one who thought that they looked alike, because later on the movie Divergent, they were cast as siblings. Yeah, because they look alike. They both have like the same color palette, and then they both have kind of like the same haircut. They look alike. No, for me it wasn't romantic at all, because they look alike. It's giving Cersei and Jaime, okay? No. The other scene that made me cringe, them kissing at Anne Frank's house. The other cringy thing about that scene was when everybody started clapping. So now let's go back to if this movie made me cry or not. So there's a scene when they showed her as a little girl with her hair shaved, like it's another actress, and the mom says something like, you can let go. I don't know why that scene, like my eyes got teary, because okay, I don't have kids obviously, so I don't know what it's like, you know, that mother and daughter or mother and son love. I don't really know it because I don't have kids, but I got cats. Okay, I got cats, and this is me with my cats.
I won't go with that cat.
Okay, so when she said you can let go, I was like, no, and my eyes got watery. Okay, so the scene that really made me cry, that I was like, okay, this is sad, I was like, okay, no, I was crying for real. You know, they have like a little funeral for him before he dies, and she read him her letter for him, and when she said, I'm thankful for our infinity, I don't know, like it's corny. It was corny, but I don't know, it was just so sad, because I get where she's coming from. Like, they didn't have that much time, but she was like very grateful for that time, you know. I don't, girl. So yes, The Fault in Our Stars made me cry. It made me cry. It made me cry. This movie is not that popular, but oh my god, if I have to recommend a movie from the list of movies that I'm mentioning today, it will be this one. It's just so good. I feel like they do an excellent job in portraying like teenagers and that awkwardness of being a teenager. I really like the characters of the movie, how they're like very opposite. So you have like three main characters, they're all very opposite from one another, and I like that the movie, it doesn't have any romance. The girl that's dying, she doesn't have a romance with one of the guys. It's just a movie about friendship, and ever since I watched this movie I haven't forgotten about it. And For the longest time, for some reason, I thought that the actress was Lily Rose Depp. I don't know why I thought it was her. But come to find out, it's Alicent from House of the Dragon. Going back to the movie, did it make me cry? It sure did. I feel like this cry was the most genuine one that I had because I really felt it. The scene that made me cry was when she finally passes away, and the way that she passes away is just so, I found that scene to be so beautiful. Even though it involves a death because she literally dies, I feel like, in my opinion, that would be the best way to go, because for the longest time I thought that the best way to go would be in a dream. But you know how sometimes you have bad dreams, so what if when you go out you're having a bad dream and then you're stuck in that limbo of a bad dream? You get what I'm saying? So no, I feel like the way that she dies is the best way, because she died conscious, but she was watching a movie, like an art movie, and the movie that she's watching while she dies is so beautiful. The movie is just, for me, it's a 10 out of 10, and that scene really made me cry. I was really sobbing, girl, like sobbing. Now, this was my first time watching this movie. This movie is starting Miss Khaleesi and Finnick Odair from The Hunger Games, okay? In this movie, the guy, he is not terminally ill. What happened to him is that he had an accident and now he cannot move, like he's paraplegic, I believe is the word. So he needs like a nanny or like somebody to be a companion for him, and that's where Khaleesi comes into the picture. Like, she is his caretaker or whatever, okay? Don't come for me, but I kind of feel bad for her boyfriend, because she has this boyfriend that you can tell that they don't really click, but then she gets this job with this guy, you know, with Finnick Odair, and she's like kind of falling in love with him or whatever. This is something weird going on, and she kind of like leaves her boyfriend hanging. I kind of felt bad for the boyfriend. Like, if you're in a relationship and you see that you two are not going anywhere, girl, just break up with him. The thing about the movie is that this guy, because he is paraplegic, he doesn't want to continue living, and what he wants to do is to go to Switzerland, because I believe in Switzerland you have like these capsules that you go inside the capsule and you finish it. So that's what he wants to do, because he's like, I don't want to live this life where I cannot move. I rather, the role of the Khaleesi character is to try to convince him into staying alive. Spoiler alert, she doesn't convince him, okay? He ends up, my thing is, I enjoyed this movie, but I feel like the relationship between the characters, like, I didn't believe it, because okay, she wasn't in love with her boyfriend. You can see that, like, they were not clicking, like I said before, but also I feel like she wasn't falling in love that much with Finnick. I feel like, yes, they had a little something, but I feel like they were not really falling in love. I feel like she just wanted to help him because she wanted to help him, because she was like that. But I feel like she wasn't really in love with him, and I feel like he knew that. And that's why he ended up like, there was something in the story that was missing for me. No, this movie did not make me cry. And I think it's because I couldn't connect with the characters. So in this movie you have Rue from The Hunger Games, and then you have this other guy, which I've seen in movies but I don't really recall where I've seen him. She has like this disease where her immune system is very weak, so if she gets like a flu or something that for us is normal, like we can come out of it, she can die. So she cannot go outside. The thing is that this guy moves next door, and then they start having like a little thing, like a little romance behind bars, something like that. Now I'm gonna say this, it's romantic, this movie is corny, because it is corny, but this was my favorite couple. I feel like of all the movies that I'm going to talk about in this video, those two actors had the best chemistry between them. So I feel like the romance between them was the most real, so that I really liked. I was waiting for this movie to be sad, but to my surprise it ended up being more romantic than any other thing. Isn't that whatever happens, and then she discovers that she's actually not sick. Her mom was lying. You know, when they tell you this in the movie, that she's actually not sick, that it was just her mom freaking out because she was like very overprotective over her because she lost her husband and her other son, so she didn't want to lose her only daughter left, this and that, whatever. I was like, this movie is a horror story. What the f you mean that you lie to me, talking about my immune system is so weak I cannot go outside? You keep me locked in the house for 18 years. Are you insane? Are you, like, it's just so bad. It was giving Gypsy Rose with her mom.
Can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now. I'm living my best life and y'all can't take that from me.
And the D is
fire.
You know how Gypsy Rose's mom was saying that she was sick, this and that, and she really wasn't? It was very much like that. This movie was not sad. It was very romantic, and then for me it was a horror movie. So no, I did not cry in this movie. I feel like this movie is the best one at representing the life at the hospital, or a day in the life of a cancer patient looks like. I feel like this movie is the best one at that. It's not concentrated in a romance, which I appreciate. Yes, it has romance, but that's not like the core of the movie. It's more about how does he feels and how does he acts being a 27-year-old with cancer. How do people start treating him differently, and how does the people at work start treating him differently? Like, you see a lot of that. So I feel like this movie is the best one at representing the changes from being a healthy person to suddenly being very sick, almost dying. So my eyes got teary when his friend Mitch died, and then my eyes got teary again when he's about to go to surgery. He keeps calling his mom. I don't know why I get so emotional whenever there's a mom and daughter or mom and son scene. I don't know, it really gets to me. So even though it's sad, out of all the movies, this one is not as sad. It's more optimistic because he ends up living. So I feel like, yeah, this one it's sad, but it's not that sad.
First things first,
so in this movie you have Cole Sprouse.
I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird.
And this other girl, they are both sick with something in their lungs, but the thing is that you cannot be close to another person that has the same illness because you can get contaminated, something like that. They fall in love, and that's the whole thing, that they need to be 5 feet apart, okay? They cannot get close to one another. This one was very corny, and I also couldn't connect with the characters and the story. Like, this guy, he moves into the hospital, whatever, and she's like, oh my god, you need to do your treatment, this and that. Like, girl, why do you care? You don't know him. And then he's talking about, okay, yeah, well, I'll do my treatment if you let me draw you. Brother, what? You don't need her to pose for you, motherfucker. Like, you're not Jack from the Titanic, okay? You can look at a picture of her and a video of her and draw her. What the f are you talking about? I want you to pose for me. It was just so weird. The way that they kind of like click with one another, the way that they form their relationship is so weird. I didn't like it. I thought it was unnatural and corny. It did not make me cry. It was a little bit sad, but it didn't make me cry. No. And then, when the movie's over, I see that it's directed by Justin Baldoni.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you when I see ya, okay? Bye!
I can't go by.